My name is Emma. I am 28 years old. I fell in love with the perfect man. We were engaged. We were planning our wedding. Then I discovered a truth that destroyed everything. He was my brother. When I was 22 years old, I met him. His name was Daniel. It was orientation week at college. I was lost, trying to find the library. I was looking at my phone when someone stopped beside me and said, "Need help?" His voice was warm. His smile felt familiar. In that moment, something inside me shifted. Daniel was kind. He was funny. He loved books the way I did. We talked for hours about art, music, dreams, and life. We became best friends before anything else. There was something about him I couldn't explain. Not attraction, recognition. One evening, we were lying under the stars. Daniel held my hand and said, "Emma, I feel like I've known you my whole life, like we were meant to find each other." I laughed and said, "Maybe we were twins in another life." We both laughed. We did not know how close the truth was. He looked into my eyes and said, "I think I'm falling in love with you." I whispered, "I'm already there." After that, we were inseparable. Every morning, I woke up thinking about him. Every night, I fell asleep hearing his voice. My friends said we were perfect. Even strangers smiled when they saw us together. For the first time in my life, I felt complete. 3 years later, Daniel proposed. It was a cold December night. Snow was falling softly around us. We stood on a bridge in Central Park. He got down on one knee and said, "Emma, you are my best friend, my soulmate, my everything. Will you marry me?" People around us stopped. Some clapped. Some cried. I remember thinking, nothing this perfect could ever break. I said yes. I said yes 1,000 times. We told our families. Everyone was happy. My mother cried tears of joy. His parents hugged us. We chose a date. We booked a venue. I brought my dress. Everything was perfect. Until one day, my mother asked to speak to me alone. Her hands were shaking. She said, "Emma, there's something I should have told you a long time ago." My heart started racing. She took a deep breath and said, "You were adopted when you were only 3 days old." My world stopped. I asked her why she never told me. She said they were afraid I would feel different, afraid I would leave them. Then she handed me an envelope. Inside were adoption papers, medical records, and a name. My birth mother's name was Catherine Miller. That night, I told Daniel everything. He held me while I cried and said, "It doesn't change anything. I love you." But something inside me needed answers. I hired someone to help me find her. 2 months later, I got a call. He said, "I found her, Catherine Miller. She lives in Boston." Then he paused. "And Emma, there's something else. She had twins," he said, "a boy and a girl, given up separately." My ears started ringing. I whispered, "Twins?" "Yes, born on March 15th, 1996. That was my birthday." My hands were shaking as I asked, "Do you know who adopted the boy?" There was a long silence. Then he said, "Yes, his name is Daniel Foster." The phone slipped from my hand. My legs gave out. I slid down the wall. Daniel, my fiancé, my soulmate, my twin brother. I threw up. Then I cried until there was nothing left inside me. For 3 days, I said nothing. Every time Daniel touched me, guilt crushed my chest. Every time he talked about our wedding, I wanted to scream. I knew I had to tell him. I asked him to meet me at our favorite cafe. He walked in smiling, talking about our honeymoon. Then I said, "Daniel, I need to tell you something." I told him I was adopted. He nodded. "So was I," he said. "I found out when I was 18. I closed my eyes. "We were born on the same day," I said, "to the same mother." He stared at me. I showed him the papers. He read them slowly. His hands were shaking. Then he whispered, "We're brother and sister." He stepped back like I had hit him. He rubbed his hands together again and again, like he was trying to erase something. "You're the only woman I've ever loved," he said through tears, "and now I can never touch you again." Then he walked away. The bell on the cafe door rang. That sound still lives in my head, because it was the sound of my life ending. That was 3 months ago. I canceled the wedding, the venue, the flowers, the dress. People asked why. How do you explain that your fiancé is your brother? Some people said we could still be together, that love is love. But we knew the truth, and once you know, you can't unknow it. Scientists say twins share a special bond even when separated at birth. Maybe that's why we fell in love. Our souls recognized each other before our minds did. We searched for each other our whole lives. We just found each other the wrong way. Today, I live alone. I don't date. The only man I ever loved was the one man I could never have. I lost my soulmate, and I lost my twin, both in the same moment. If you were in my place, would you want to know the truth, or would you rather live a lie? This is my story, a story of love that was never meant to be. Thank you for listening. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Story Reading in English. With every story, our English gets better, and our hearts grow stronger.